This is one word, two syllables. Ridiculous, right?
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Unfiltered Truth. I am your host, Phil Robinson. With me is the homie, Raider Rich, standing in for Jones. Jones is a little under the weather. But what's up, everybody? We got this game on Sunday that happened, a tough week 2 loss. How you doing, Rich?
What's happening, man? How y'all doing?
Loving it. Said Pedro.
Hey, dude, that game was just horrible, bro. I mean, just I think I've told you this, but like just losing, it wasn't it. The way we lost, I mean, it not even being competitive was what got me.
What got me wasn't that they weren't competitive. It's that the way they started the game out with a plan and completely abandoned it because of one bad play was something that I couldn't deal with. I couldn't deal with the fact that you continue. Well, we can get further in. I'd like to go once we started really truly evaluating the game. We'll go position by position group. I found that works best. But the jet sweep is going to be there for them all year, whenever they want to take it, because the way the teams are playing them and crunching in the box and packing 8, 9, 10 guys within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, a fly sweep is absolutely going to be there. They had the right idea with running the screens. One of them got batted up and they made a play on it, and after that they never called another one.
Right.
And I get it.
Yeah, that happened. There was a lot of misfortunate things that went on. I think this team should be a lot better than what we've seen on Sunday, though. It was. I'm not gonna lie. The head coach got out coached. The team got outplayed. On both sides of the ball, and on special teams, all three phases of the game, they got outplayed. There was times where the defense showed up for the offense and the offense didn't do anything for the defense. And there was also times where the defense didn't do anything at all. I will say this. For the most part of the game, the Bills had to earn every blade of grass that they got. They did have to. They did it. They didn't have to work really hard for it, but they had to work for it. I'm not giving the defense a pass on what happened or what went on. I'm just stating that it wasn't 1-play drives. It wasn't 3-play drives. The defense was on the field a lot, and I think a lot of it was the offense's inability to stay on the field is what hurt this defense a lot too. And I'm not giving them a pass. Bro, it was really bad, bro.
None. These zero technique having hacks. They held shit up. That's all that happened.
Hey, but I will say this though. Can Max Crosby get a fucking holding call? at all. I mean, damn, bro. I mean, the ref is standing right there. The tackle has him like this, ripping his jersey this way, and his jersey's twisted halfway around him. There's no flags. I mean, come on, man. Give this man a little bit of love. He is a superstar. He's a
Enforce
superstar in the
the
NFL.
rules. No, you're not giving him anything. You're enforcing the rules.
Bro, just call every third one and we're straight. Every third holding, I'd be happy. Can we
just
get every third
all the ones
holding?
on third down, that's all. Just all the ones on third down.
Fuck, I'll take every other third down. You know what I mean?
Every other everything in the red zone, I'm gonna need you to blow the whistle.
Right? I mean, the man is being held.
I need you to blow the whistle. I saw a lot of that, a lot of holding the max. I went back and I rewatched the game. I saw some more of Max's either bad habits or what he's being coached to do, which is pinch to the inside
Pinch
and
to the inside,
not hold contain. And it irritates my soul to see your defensive end losing contain continuously.
Right.
But by that same token, I also saw Max in position to make plays and experienced sabotage from friendly fire on multiple occasions.
Fucking Spillane. How's your old player go sit there, shed a scream? He died. He was running. Pick and roll. It's the wrong sport, bro. He thought he was running pick and roll, dog. It's not his fault. Come on, bro.
So as I'm watching the game, I'm hot. I'm saying what the Raiders need to do. I'm talking about how the defensive coordinator don't know what he's doing. If Max is if they're gonna play Max with all that extra protection and slide out that way and leave that hole open, run a blitz right underneath there. That dude will be wide open. He'll get right to the quarterback. And you know what? I was right.
It worked.
It worked. It was there. He called it. The only problem was Bob Spillane.
We just shortened his name now. We called him Bob.
Bob tripped. And as Bob tripped, Max put on the brakes, having maintained his contain, cuts back, and has a wide open path to Josh Allen, who's not looking at him at all, who's just right here, whole side of his face with a hit me sign just all the way down. Just right there for the taking. And as Max eyes has got to get real big, goes to take his step, I'll be damned if Bob didn't cut block this motherfucker perfectly, allowing Josh Allen to step up, slide, and deliver a touchdown pass with 18 seconds left to go in the half, when this sack would have got them off of the field with a field goal. There was another time where I watched a similar play, but rather than go to Max's side, Bob went to the other side and gets through clean. The only problem was pursuit angles. Somehow Bob missed the quarterback completely, and once again cut block Max Crosby with the free path to the quarterback, taking him out a second time.
Bruh. Fucking Pinchy Bob. Bob needs to learn how to wrap up. This dude cannot wrap up.
Oh well, I didn't even talk about the one-on-one
He just went up.
go
Ah!
put up and explosive pop and then get brushed off to the side as the running back keeps going because we didn't
Right?
wrap the legs together and make them knees go clank. But Bob wasn't finished. Bob dropped back into coverage multiple times. One of the two of the most prevalent images that come out into my mind about what Bob did was a fake to James Cook, where Bob
Right.
knew he didn't have the ball. Cook goes through the line of scrimmage. If they'd handed it to him, he'd have ran for 15. He gets to the line of scrimmage, breaks to the outside. There's nobody over there. When you look at the play on TV, it's very
Bob
apparent
gets him 10
right off
yards down the
the bat.
field.
That's Bob. Bob lets him run through the line free, make his
Oh,
break, run to the sideline, to the flats free, turn upfield, and gave him 10 more free ones before he finally decided to get over there and make a stop.
right. Good old Bob.
And the even more impressive thing about it was I'm pretty sure that when that all went down, Bob was standing directly in front of James Cook.
Dude, his pursuit, he has good pursuit of the ball, bad angles, and he seems just a step too slow to fill the hole. Like he's coming downhill, right? When he's coming downhill, like he should be there at the line of scrimmage. And sometimes when he's there at the line of scrimmage, this is what he does. You mean, and it's like, what the fuck? You mean like, um, I don't understand it. You mean he's not actually wrapping up and tackling the ball carrier. You know what I mean? And it's starting to show now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's starting to show.
Yeah, you look at that and you look at what he put up, and I had to agree with Scout. Scout said he was an excellent fourth linebacker.
Fucking fourth linebacker.
This many.
What's up, Eagle Terrier?
Excellent fourth linebacker.
Right? Fill in the
And
blanks,
he's not wrong.
linebacker.
And he's not wrong because they went out and signed what should be an improvement in Michael Walker. But we'll get to that in a minute. So let's start breaking down these positions. Last week in the win, we did offense. This week in the loss, we'll start with the defense. Tell me a story about what you saw from the safety position, Rich.
I think Epps actually, I think he's a team captain, right? This year, right? He's a team
Yes.
captain. I think he's actually a leader out there on the field. I think he's excellent. He's not as bad as we thought he was in coverage. Um, he's going to bring some boom. He's everything we wanted Jonathan Abram to be. However, Morig, your boy keeps being lost in coverage. Bro, does he want to tackle somebody? Does he? It seems like Morig could be an all pro with his skill set, but he just doesn't want it. Like he's content. You mean like I don't dude, I've seen this man shut Travis Kelsey down for 25 yards, 4 touchdowns, 25 yards in a game. Locked him up. You know what I mean? And every time he didn't lock him up and he scored, it was because we went into fucking zone coverage in the red zone, right? I've seen Morig play better. He's a better player, dude. Morgan looks bad, bad. Um, it may be time for some mail time. You mean it might be, bro. I'm just saying. It's what? This is what, year 3 for Trayvon Morrig?
Yep. Yep.
So he kind of is who he is, right?
From he can still continue to elevate, but what you've seen of him, you know who he is and what you got until he elevates his play and shows you something different. Now, I
Right.
don't believe Palomao is the solution. I think not at the post safety position or the deep safety.
Mm-hmm.
You could theoretically put him up against tight ends because you're certainly not going to put Chris Smith up against Travis Kelsey
No.
and expect to incur any type of success.
Right.
Uh, Now, Moreg had that nice pass defense in the end zone on I believe that was Diggs, or no, that was Kincaid.
Right. I like him against tight ends.
Uh,
I like him
he
against tight ends.
he's good in coverage against tight ends, and I mean he's 6'2", so he's got as good a size as you're going to expect from a safety. But I want to say in the 2 games that I've seen them, and I know we're supposed to be focusing on Buffalo, so I'll get back to it. Uh, they just had they got it's like opposites. The offense plays too shallow and the defense plays too deep.
You're so, dude. What is up with these 9-man soft zone, 9-yard soft zones?
I documented that. I was looking through the tape, and and there was a time a 2nd and 8. We've been talking all, and I've said all week long that Buffalo's offense are quick outs.
Mm-hmm.
And if they wanted to cause problems and chaos, force Josh Allen to hang on to the football, they were going to have to line up and play press. Did
Mm-hmm.
not do that one single time.
Right.
Did not did what Stayed in that soft zone, and I literally watched the corners give up for everybody who cites, oh, they played horrible. They gave up 5 out of 5 completion. They are giving these people 8, 9, 10 yard, 10 free ones in every route.
The receiver doesn't even need to run a route. They can just snap the ball, let the receiver sit right there, fucking turn, catch the ball. He's gonna get 4 to 5 yards every fucking time. Every
Out,
time.
out routes are getting you 15 because by the time the corner finally turns to start running, you're already behind him. He got to turn around and find you because he sat on your brake. He turned on your brake the wrong way, might I add.
Yeah.
But again, you can only play what your talent allows you to play, and when you send blitzes and your linebackers taking out your defensive end and neither one of them are hitting the quarterback, when you send a corner blitz and your corner Nate Hobbs, best slot corner in the league in my opinion, is faced up with Josh Allen and somehow still manages to not be able to get the job done. I can't put that on the defensive coordinator. I can't put it on him when Bilal Nichols comes free from whatever stunt it was that he ran, is faced up with Josh Allen and somehow ends up kicking up rubber pellets out of the or dirt out of the ground because somehow he got shook out his shoes and didn't convert the sack that was right in front of him. There were opportunities to take it to Josh Allen and they just simply failed.
I'm dead serious with that. I am dead serious with that. Okay. So we've talked about Bob. We've talked about Murray. Can I ask you a question?
By all means.
At some point, are we gonna get Max Crosby the help he needs? I mean, seriously, like This man is out here wasting his fucking career. He's on a Hall of Fame trajectory right now. At least Hall of very, very good. You know what I mean? If he keeps up what he's doing, he may make the Hall of Fame. We got to get somebody in there to help him. If it's a defensive tackle, defensive end. Matter of fact, if we can get some competent linebacker play and back of him, this is going to help him. You mean like this team owes him that obligation to make sure that he's elevated, that there's people there to elevate him. He's giving everything he's got to the franchise day in, day out, and he only wants to be committed to excellence. I think this franchise needs to do more for him, and it starts at either defensive tackle or linebacker. I mean, because he needs the help. And I'd prefer to have a stud in the middle.
They potentially got one in Michael Walker, with whom they were trying to get off Atlanta's practice squad earlier before the Bears. I believe the Bears stepped in, and they were able to sign him to the practice squad. And I believe they are checking to see if he can go. They have, I think, till Friday to activate him, or to get him in, and I think game time to activate him. But with sending Chandler Jones to the NFI list, they've opened up a roster spot for Michael Walker.
Okay.
I believe wholeheartedly, in looking at this game and looking at the players, what I would suggest, and actually Kevin had said they ran a lot of it, is wide 9 and have their ends come crashing down. Now, does Max need some help? And I'm not gonna say that I'm so down on Tyree Wilson that I think that he's not the guy, because I don't think that that's the case. I think that he needs some seasoning, and he needs to the speed of the game needs to slow down for him. I think more than anything, that's probably what his issue is in looking at it, is that he's not used to guys moving that where he was clear far and away the faster, stronger guy. He's got to catch up to the NFL, because right now he's still a strong guy. Right now he can still get there, but he's got to be better than what he is now. And coming off the injury, it's hard, but his get-offs were a lot better this week than they were last week, considering he was moving with the rest of his defensive line, rather than still being in stance while everybody was 2 steps into the play.
Right.
One of the things that I noticed was that when he's making plays, he's keeping his arms out, stretching and attacking the offensive line. When he's not making plays and when he's getting held is when he's T-Rexing it up and walking around playing defense like this.
This was over doing the cabbage patch. We'll get blocked out of the fucking play, bro.
It is his number one attribute, and he's not using it. I have yet to see that man use a long arm technique one time.
Oh my God! If this man learned the long arm technique, he would be
unstoppable, unfuckable with.
Right?
If he would just learn it, if he would practice it, he doesn't even have to use the long arm. As long as his damn arms are, he just needs to get them out. Come off the line, practice, off the line, hands out, off the line, hands out.
Okay. I do think from his progression from week 1 to week 2, they are working with him. He was not getting off the ball. Okay, week 1 was not getting off the ball. Week 2, he was getting off. He had good get off. Everything. I kind of like him in the wide 9 though. I kind of like him in the wide 9 because it gives him
best.
It gives him time. It gives him time to build up his speed and then convert his speed to power. I really, really like that. But you're right. I would love to see him be able to press with that big long arm on a tackle's chest. and make them commit to holding, make them start fucking panicking. And if he can ever get that other hand around just to swat everything, oh God, and a spin move off of it or a swim move off of it.
So he could take what he would if he can execute the long arm technique properly. He can come back. He can come back inside with some you ain't heard of in a while. You remember the hump?
Oh, right. The
You
hump.
remember? You remember the hump?
Yes, I'm old, motherfucker. Yes, I'm old.
If you can get that inside, get that long arm on that inside shoulder and get him twisted, he can come right back with the hump and just completely throw that man out of the way.
Yeah, hey, bro, you grabbing face mask and jersey after that because there's nothing else to do.
There's nothing else you can do.
Nothing else you can do.
Nothing else. You're going for a ride.
Yes. But also if he can do that, so he wants the bull rush, right? But if everybody's prepared for the bull rush, it kind of takes him out of his game. You mean you got to be able to is he bull rushing me this time? Is he long arming me this time? Is he gonna spin on me? He needs more weapons, needs better techniques. I'm looking for him to develop. This is a guy we're going to see actually develop in front of us. You mean?
Yes.
Because he was not there in training camp. You mean?
Yeah.
So let's look week to week and see what we see from him. And sometimes it's going to be little increments. Sometimes it's going to be bigger increments. I fully expect from him at the end of the year to be putting combo moves together, getting his arms up. These coaches are got to be telling them about, hey, bro, you can't be running around looking like a fucking what is it, smushmallow fucking plush toy. You mean fucking running into people, bro. You mean you got to get those arms out. You got to put it on them, and you got to keep these tackles hands off of you. And the best way you're going to do that is by your long ass arms.
Yep. And in watching it, he graduated to earning the right to be held this week.
Yes.
So last week he was a non-factor, with the exception of when he comes off the edge in that wide 9. If he's not going to run wide 9 and you're going to want him to pinch inside, you need to move him inside and let him try to make a move in the middle.
You know what? I think that's right now. That's a little advanced for him. You mean
that's what he's
doing? A little advanced.
That's what he's doing at defensive end. Now
okay.
he holds an edge.
I mean, because we've seen Buckner. Buckner.
He holds the edge better than Max.
Okay, but we've seen Buckner, Armstead, those tweener guys like him, right? Similar body types. Well, at least when they first came in the NFL, because these dudes is defensive tackles now, who can play outside. You mean? They bench press cats. You mean?
Yeah.
We seen Miller's big ass get bench pressed. You mean against the Niners, bench pressed. You mean Armstead bench pressed him?
Just
fuck out of my way. You mean? You know what I'm saying? We see Buckner do this all the time. That's where he needs to get. You mean he needs that strength? You mean that core? You mean to be able to do that if we're moving him inside and out? I think he's going to be a guy who's going to play more on the outside, but if he's going to be moving inside, he's got to be able to do these type of things too, because it's just different techniques.
Mm-hmm. No,
hold on. Someone's knocking at my door. Hold on, I'll be right back.
All right. Anyway, so while he goes off to go do that, so looking at Wilson, there he's building, definitely building. He's going to have to learn some things. It's going to take some time, but you look at the defensive interior, and I watched Adam Butler. Ultimately, the problem with the defensive interior is they're too small. For this particular scheme, if you're the way they want to do it, you need larger defensive tackles to occupy more blockers so they don't get to the second level, and you leave your linebackers free to roam and make plays. Now, Your linebackers have been much better with the exception of Spillane, which is hard to say because honestly, there's really only one of them who's on the field, and that's Divine Diablo, who's looked like a player out there. And I've actually been really impressed with the Diablo's game in these first 2 weeks, and he's shown great amounts of improvement and finally looking like the experiment is trending in a positive way and where it's supposed to be. I think by signing Michael Walker, they've got a guy who can play the position, the Mike position, the way they need it to be played. Cover running backs, cover tight ends, be a better tackler, a sure tackler, a strong blitzer, and learn the system and work it. And so that's going. I hope and pray that that's going to be a big thing for them. Another thing that they need to do is start playing more of Curtis Bolton. Curtis Bolton made plays all preseason long, and the only time we've seen him has been special teams. Uh, your guess is as good as mine why it is that guys that make plays don't get any playing time when you at a position that clearly needs guys who can make plays. That is one of those things that you would be able to put on the defensive coordinator Patrick Graham. This guy's not once again, guy's not executing. That's he can only play guys who are out there and put them in position to make plays. If they don't do it, that's not his fault. So you need guys who can get it done. But like me and Rich said, and I've been saying it, they've got to stop playing so far off the ball. They can't give up more than 5 yards at the line of scrimmage. You can't. If you expect to play any type of defense and give your defensive line any chance to get to the quarterback, you can't be giving them anything under 10 yards.
Right. Automatically.
That's automatic. It does not
Automatically.
at this level, it does not get any easier for a cute quarterback than to give them 8 to 9 free yards underneath. You're getting a first down every 2 passes.
Yes, sir.
That's that's not on the players. That's on the coach. That's on the coordinator. That's on the scheme. That's on the philosophies. But to his credit, whenever he tries to mix it up and run something unique,
exotic.
they fuck it up.
Yeah.
It makes it so it's kind of a double-edged sword. He's damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. You take the death by 1,000 cuts versus just getting your head cut off or shooting yourself in the foot because you did something dumb on something that was complex.
Okay, I understand that. However, if you see most good defenses, they hang their hat on one thing. One thing. You see Wink Martindale, he's going to bring pressure. This defense doesn't hang their hat on one thing at all. You mean like, and that's what's. I'm a huge Patrick Graham fan. But that's what's really got me wondering about him and the future of this defense because they don't hang their hat on anything. I mean, some LOB, they ran 3 plays. They ran it well, but they had pass rushers. You know what I mean? You mean they got after your ass. You mean like this defense doesn't have that one thing to hang its head on. I mean, its one thing is Max Crosby. That's not enough. It's not enough.
Nope.
You know, did they do a lot in the draft for the defense? Yes. Edwards, has he made a play yet on defense?
Couple tackles.
Couple tackles.
Couple
Okay.
tackles.
So far we paid Bilal Nichols some good money. We drafted Edwards. We brought in Tillery. Tillery's actually shown up. You mean? But was it John Jenkins is statistically our best defensive tackle as of right now, right?
Yes.
So that's not good, dude. Like I keep saying, dude, this defense has to hang its head, has to do one thing fucking well, dude. And I'm not seeing it with this defense. And it Patrick Graham has been there. This is his second year. You know what I mean? He needs to start. He's got to bring something to the table, and I'm a huge fan of his. But I have to. This is called the unfiltered truth. We throw up that U for a reason because we're not going to hold back on what we think, and I think he needs to step up his game as a coordinator. And if you don't have the right players, you need to bench them. You need to do whatever you need to do. I don't care who they are. I mean, I have seen on what is it, X now instead of Twitter. A lot of people, I've seen a couple of people say, Jacorian Bennett is really bad. He's just a rookie, but he can play press man. He can play zone. He's actually very versed as a defensive back. So I'm looking to see, can we get a little bit more of that? You mean, especially on the outside.
I'm ready to see Big Nesta.
You know what? Me too. I mean, the only time I ever seen Big Nesta in college, the motherfucker squirt water on Caleb Williams, bro. How you gonna squirt water on the Heisman winning trophy, dude? You know what I mean? He just squirt.
Something to cool it off. It wasn't the defense was helping,
right? So,
but so going back. So interestingly enough, if you go back and you look at the size of the Raiders' defensive line,
right.
Both of your starters are under. Both of your starters, Tiller. Well, actually, they say Nichols is up to 313. I don't believe it because he was playing at 280 last year. 285, 290. But Tillery, 295. Byron Young, 292. Matthew Butler was 280 something. So John Jenkins, your highest ranked defensive tackle, is also your heaviest at 325. Correlation there. The guys up front are getting pushed around because they're too small.
Right. And in all fairness, too, this is literally a two-man line. You mean it's your two defensive tackles. You mean technically.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that because in Wilson, raw as he may be, you're still talking about a 285-pound defensive end.
Oh, he's already at 285. I thought it was 275.
It was I believe it was 280. I gave him 5. So sue me. So sue me. Yeah, they got him down to 275.
Okay.
But even still, you're talking about a 275-pound defensive end. And he's going to gain weight because he's still young.
Right. He's going to put on a lot of muscle. He's very young.
A lot of muscle. And so it's going to be that way. Eventually he will get there. It probably next year should be much improved. And so it's not just a two-man line. It's the way they go about, but they got to find a way to run more base defense.
Right.
They just have to. If that means you got to pull somebody else off the field so that you can run an extra linebacker and stop the run and negate all the short stuff, then you got to do what you got to do. But this shit right here that we've been looking at, it isn't going to cut it. And yes, it worked against Denver, it failed miserably against Buffalo, against an offense that should have been easy to shut down.
Right.
Because they didn't beat anybody with anything over the top. It's not
No.
like they were throwing bombs away. They're sitting there just waiting for somebody to come free in the middle of that field, waiting for old Bob to run a pick on one of his trailing defenders to open up a crosser with nobody around him for a first down. Because Bob is out there giving it everything that he's got. Now, what is he
Right.
giving you remains to be
Not
seen.
much. Not much.
They probably might have been better if they had given it back to him to
Right.
give to somebody else. But Bob is running things out there.
Bruh, I'm sorry. Hey, isn't what's the old cat used to play for the Raiders and end up going to Chicago?
Mac?
No, not Mac.
Autry?
Nichols or someone with an N.
Nichols came from Chicago.
No. He was an undrafted free agent. He was a safety. He started playing middle linebacker for us.
Talking about Masterson?
Nelson, something like that.
Kwiatkowski.
No, not Kwiatkowski. He came from the Raiders and went to Chicago. I think it's Nelson.
Morrow?
Nicholas Morrow. My bad. Nicholas Morrow. Thank you, KB. Thank you, dog. Nicholas Morrow. Can we get a little Nicholas Morrow in here? I think Nicholas Morrow would be excellent in this defense. I think he'd be faster than Spillane. No, he's a sure tackler. He's good in space. He's not the best, but he's good in space. I think if this team got a little Nicholas Morrow, I don't understand the dynamics of everything and he didn't want to stick around and all this other stuff, whatever. I don't really care about all that. Bring in players to make impacts. I think Nicholas Morrow will be a great addition to this team. I don't want somebody who's sitting there on the practice squad. I'm not very sure that they're going to actually be able to do anything with this defense. I mean, they're on the practice squad for a reason, right? Am I lying?
Yeah, actually, you are.
Okay.
They're saying that he's all in the sign of their active roster this week.
Okay. I mean, I think Nicholas Morrow will be a better addition than Robert or Bob right now.
Oh, Bob. Well, we got Michael Walker. Michael Walker should be an improvement over Bob as well. But we've been on this for a minute. We're going to cross paths and talk about the offense, the offensive line. I think it's very key that we focus on that first word, offensive, because the way the guards got treated was offensive. I watched Greg Van Roten look like Van Rotten on a vine because Daquan Jones and Isaiah Oliver spanked him, bent him over, had their way with him, and treated him very unchristian-like. The things that happened to Greg Van Roten are not things that you're used to seeing happen to an NFL lineman. I don't know how he mistreated on 50% of the snaps that he took, but somehow he managed to pull it off. On the first drive that they went
at the gates
that they scored on, first play of the game, blasted 3 yards into the backfield.
Right.
Second play of the game, blasted. The play that Devontae Adams scored on, blasted. I think it was in the second quarter. I watched this man get knocked 5 yards off the ball from the snap. 5 yards.
Bench press. He got bench press.
Hey, They call it one game, but he is on notice, sir. He is on notice because as bad as that game was, that you can't allow that to happen again. That only gets to happen one more time. That was awful. The run blocking has been terrible. Said Josh needs to knock the rust off. Yes, it looks like he's back to tap dancing in the hole when he actually has one, but he's looking at 8, 9, 10 in the box.
And to be honest, when you bring up Jakob, you mean
Not doing a whole lot for you either.
I mean when you bring up Jakob, bro, you just telling on yourself now. You know what I mean? If you're gonna bring up Jakob, you do at least a couple plays a game, bro. You got to pass out of this formation. I mean,
Yeah.
you have to, dude, because what you're doing is you're just telling on yourself. You mean, and it's
Run
not
play.
good.
Run play right
Right?
here.
You mean like, dude? As soon I'm not gonna lie, if as soon as I see Jakob, run blitz the shit out of this. You mean all day long? Let's do this. You mean, and then that whole background that was. Is that was that after he took the ball from him?
So yes, I obviously.
Like,
I mean, it's not in his hands.
really, Josh? You know what I mean? Hey, bro. Homie said like this.
Never
I'll
been
take this. I'll take this. Like,
I mean, if you look at it, I was like, I don't know how that wasn't pass interference. I don't know on what planet you get to jump all over somebody's back to go get an interception and don't get
bro,
a P.
bro, I'm sorry, dude, but it was impressive. We all know it was. We all know it was, dude.
I'm saying, as nice
If the Raiders did that, I would be all about this. You'd be
get
like,
it.
yeah.
That don't mean that it's
Hey, it was
but
impressive, bro. Hey, the refs were like, shit, that was awesome. Give him a
he
pass
just
on
went.
that, bro.
Oh, he just went and got that. Just mossed him.
Yes. Yeah. Bro, Josh Jacobs got mossed.
He got mossed.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even that he got mossed. That right there is about as close as you're gonna get to the football equivalent of getting dunked on. When dude just walks in the room and all of a sudden just gets dunked on by somebody
Like one
that
of
he
those old
knew was there.
those dirty ass Shaq dunks, you mean, when he dunks on
Yeah,
you, breaks a backboard, you mean, like
yeah. Just while
looks
you was
at you like you was in shit and start shaking. Like some Orlando ass Shaq.
that man went up, turned around, looked up, and next thing he knew, somebody's balls were on his shoulder. He was reaching over to grab the football. It was a bad look. He got caught lacking in the worst way.
Hey. And by the way, JJ is my favorite player on this team.
I love JJ. It happened.
Hey, that's what. Hey, bro, throw that two back on your shit, homie.
That's the unfiltered, just right there sitting on him.
Hey, throw the two back on your shit, dog. You mean?
Yeah.
Hey, bro, it's like Samson cutting his hair. You mean? Because that shit would never happen to 2-8. I'm just saying.
Nope.
Never happened.
Wouldn't let that shit
He
happen to me.
that and shook him. 8? I don't know this about them.
So Dylan Parham also had a poor game. It wasn't as bad as Van Rotten's was. It's almost easy to overlook that Dylan Parham's game was almost equally as bad. And allowing defensive tackles to play 5 technique and scrape all the way across your face and make a play 3 and 4 yards in the backfield with a fly sweep motion coming back towards you. That's probably one of the worst reps I've seen from him in his
Yes,
short career. That was awful.
I have to agree to that.
Now, I believe that he should be on the right side, and everybody kept, oh no, he's going to play left guard, left guard. Well, that the on the right side, the guy doesn't scrape to his right like that. He scrapes to his left.
right, right. Okay, but your left guard is normally your monster guard, your Coleccio Assembly guard, right? Your
In a
power
perfect,
guard, right? Yeah, that's what your left guard normally is. You know? I mean, we seen KO come in and just obliterate fools at that left guard position,
yeah.
and yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you with that one.
To getting pushed 3 and 4 yards in the backfield on almost every rushing attempt. Granted, they started to form up in pass protection a lot better than they were holding up in the run game, but at
Yes,
some
sir.
point they're going to have that's also a product, like you said, of the play calling and of the offensive philosophy of keeping everything 15 yards or closer. At this
Right.
point, if at this point 2-3 weeks in, if I'm another team, I'm lining my safeties up at 18 yards. I'm lining my corners up at 5. And I'm telling neither one of them to don't any one of you take a single step backwards. Otherwise, I'm pulling you off the field.
Oh, for sure. Hold on. If the Raiders come out and play a game passing the ball they are going to have to pass the ball to Josh Jacobs to start loosening up these defenses. You seen it
Yep.
on the first drive, started off with passing the ball to Josh Jacobs. Okay, I'm sorry. I love Devontae Adams, but this team still runs through Josh Jacobs. Okay, they are run blitzing the shit out of him. I
Yep.
mean, dude, they need to help him. They need to soften up these defenses. I'm sorry, Jimmy G is not the guy to hit big time outside the numbers. That's not his game. His game is from the numbers inside. Okay.
Fine. Run schemes. Something vertical
Get
to
the
stretch.
tight end involved. Like,
So your tight end is involved. Let me tell you something, Rich. This is the funny part about Austin Hooper, and this is what nobody realizes. Austin Hooper is probably one of the best tight end rubbers I've ever seen. I'm not gonna go out and put it all on out there for somebody to look at. But if you go
nope.
and watch what he does and the subtlety with which he goes about his business, even though the results are the intended results, you'll see what he's doing. But
Bruh,
even still,
he would have fit on this early 2000 Raiders defense offense, excuse me.
oh God, yes. Oh,
Look, you could have ran John Gruden out there at receiver. You would have,
He's probably somewhere rubbing himself looking at Austin Hooper talk about if I had years ago. Oh my Lord, man. But even still, when you send him, he's a Pro Bowl pass catching receiver, tight end,
right,
receiving tight end, and they're not using him. There's so many weapons on this team that are not being used. That comes
right,
down to scheme. That comes down to your coach telling your quarterback, look for this one guy. There's your second option. Here's your check down. And if you wait longer than X, blase, then skip the second guy and go straight to the check down.
right.
Because Jimmy has time. That's one thing this line is doing is pass protection. They are holding up. He has time to go through his reads, go through his progressions, and his backside trailer is always open.
Always.
Always wide ass open.
Okay, so Jimmy is literally reverse Derek Carr. You know what I mean? You mean where Derek wouldn't look left? This fool will not look right. I don't understand this. You mean? I don't understand this either. I mean, like, but we was right. We got the same guy. It's the same guy. You mean? It's the same
mirror.
guy.
It's the reflection from the mirror.
Yes.
You know what I'm
The
saying?
same guy. They're the same guy. Except for one doesn't cuss. And one cusses a lot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Evil Derek Carr. That's what it is. Same limitations though.
Looked like if he had a game and a real mustache. No.
Right?
Yeah.
Mr. Vujovic as a quarterback.
You know what I'm saying? But
Man,
said creativity, run two running backs wise, Green Bay and Carolina and the Lions all using young players with veterans on rotations and looks. I mean, that's pretty much what everybody does, buddy. Uh, the other piece of that is that you got Zamir White, who's capable of running straight ahead and dishing up, coughing up the rock. Your guy is Josh Jacobs. You don't need a secondary guy past what you're getting out of Zamir White. You just need Jacobs to run better, and in order to do that, Jacobs is not Barry Sanders. He's not shaking three dudes 5 yards in the backfield on every play.
nope.
It's just not going to happen.
No.
That's not
No.
his game. And so it kind of
He can
reminds
make one dude miss, but not three.
yeah. This man is working insanely hard to get three. By the time he's gotten 3 yards, he's probably shook six guys. I counted them, six. So teams are making sure that he does not beat them. And that's because the Raiders' passing attack has shown that there's nothing to be scared of. They walked up 9 guys to a box, single coverage on Devontae, and Jimmy still wasn't able to hit it.
Yep. Hey, bro, I think I talked to somebody on Sunday. I said, look, dude, I was very critical of Derek. I'm going to be very critical of every other player from now on. You mean, I'm not going to pull any punches. I'm going to say exactly what I feel. And it kind of hurt me to do that, but also freed me because now, bro, if it's bad, it's bad, dude. You mean, we shouldn't have to sit here and you're not a real fan unless you believe in this. No, you're a real fan if you can sit there and say, that was bad. That was not good. Like, seriously, like, you know, this team has to do better. You know? And like a lot of this is kind of self-inflicted. I mean, dude, I'm sorry, dude. This whole Bills game was self-inflicted. The whole game was self-inflicted. Bro, they're run blitzing Josh Jacobs, dude. Let's run some tight end slants. Dude, I honestly think if Jacoby Myers was there, they could have took advantage of a lot more things because of his connection with fucking Jimmy Garoppolo. But dude, guys can't always be healthy, right?
He doesn't have a connection with Jimmy Garoppolo. He was just that open. Unmistakably, while Denver gave the majority of their attention, doubled and bracketed Hunter and Adams, he was just that open. And
Right.
that just goes to show once again, it's like, okay, so if they're going to devote that type of attention to him, where's the spread? Why don't you have the three of them together and just have them all branch out in separate directions, clear out space for your crosser, for DeAndre Carter or Trey Tucker to come crossing underneath and have
With
nothing but
speed.
space to set it up the field.
With speed, right?
With speed. There are so many things that you can do with the guys that you have that are not being done. It's some simple ass, basic, rudimentary ass offense that you've been seeing.
Exactly.
No creativity, indicate tipping plays by the personnel package groups, the way they're aligned, not stretching the field. Like I said, if it's past anything past 18 yards, I'm telling my safeties, don't you dare take a step back.
You're
If
right.
if
You're
you have
right.
to stand right there, take a step to your
You're
left or take a step to your right, but don't you dare take one backwards.
you're absolutely right until this team
And I
can
let
effectively hit.
and let them throw it over your head. I guarantee you it's going out of bounds anyway. Let them throw a couple. Let them get a couple completions before you even think about turning around and going to chase a receiver that far.
But you have to earn that respect, though, right? You
They
have to earn it.
absolutely do. You
You have
got
to
to go
earn that
out there and
respect.
show
You
that
have
you look.
to. Oh man.
It's coaching. No reason we couldn't get more points or give up so easy. Giants were down by 27 and came back. That's coaching with less talent than us. We couldn't get another 3 points. The way they started, it looked like they were going to steamroll them. They got a 3-and-out on defense, 7 on offense. Soon as they touched the ball, and I was in high
Right,
spirit. They were
bruh.
getting going. I was
A
like, all right,
goal line stance.
goal line stand. Like, come on, man. You gotta do something. You gotta give them some hope, something to work with. And
Right.
yes, shit happens, shit goes wrong. The screen pass, look, how often do you see a screen pass get intercepted, especially like that? They could run another 100 screen passes, and I guarantee you it wouldn't get picked off like that again. But they didn't run another one of them.
Right.
Everything that worked for them, they did it once and never did it again. One fly jet sweep, one screen pass to Devontae, one screen pass to Abdullah. One post to Hunter Renfro to beat cover 2 down the center of the field. That's the type of shit I'm talking about. You don't have to go all the way out wide to the sideline. Hit a post up the middle. Something to
Yeah.
get behind the defense to
Right.
force them to back off of the line of scrimmage and open up some more underneath shit for you.
Right.
Now, to your question on T6, first thing to do to fix the defense, press the receivers. Walk up to the line of scrimmage. Do not allow them to get off of it.
Right.
Press the line of scrimmage. Run more base. Bring on your third linebacker. Bring on Bolton. Free him up. Scheme him up to blitz, to cover, to run stuff, to do all of that. Say he's fast enough to run with tight ends and running backs, big enough to tackle anyone, and it just makes no sense for him to not be on the field. Next, I would, like I said earlier, I'd just in passing situations, I'd switch to a wide 9, potentially start walking up linebackers into a double A situation. A look and go from there. Start if you're going to run zone, then at least don't make it a soft zone, make it a press bail situation if that's what you're going to do. Show that don't give free yardage away. That's the number one thing. Make them earn every yard. I mean, yeah. What do you want me to tell you? They brought out something new for the first sequence of plays, and then went right back to that same old shit we've been seeing. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work, and embarrassing losses are not gonna be how people keep jobs around here.
No, you cannot keep your job, dude. I have to keep talking about this, dude. I want my defense to do one good thing well. Just keep. This is how we're gonna fucking defeat you. This is how we're gonna make you. How we're gonna force you into making bad decisions. This defense doesn't do anything. Well, nothing. I'm sorry, it doesn't. At least under Gus Bradley, they rushed the passer well. You mean they did do that? You mean they rushed the passer very well. They got off the field.
Their defensive backs play the run exceptionally well, with the exception of their left corner. But your slot corner and your right corner play the run exceptionally well.
Yeah.
But we're an hour in. It's on this particular Wednesday. We've got the Sunday night game against the Steelers. I'll be back later on this week. Hopefully Phil will be over whatever it is that he's got. Maybe even jump in with Rich on his show on the After Dark on Saturday.
Hey, Phil, you know who was at the door, right?
Who?
It was the high-speed Wi-Fi people. I think it was it Spectrum or something. I sent him to Jones's house, though. To get an address and everything so he can stop locking up in the middle of the show.
Man, you doing the Lord's work over here, because the last thing anybody wants to.
Hey, we didn't even practice that. But hey, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like. That's fucking hilarious.
All right, y'all. He's Raider Rich. I'm Phil Robinson. This is the Unfiltered Truth. Thank you. Please like, subscribe, tell a friend, blast it up, put some hashtags on it so everybody will see. Post it on all your social media. Make me a star. Help Rich out. Help us continue to grow this thing and spread the unfiltered truth to everyone.
Yes, sir.
We out. God bless.
This is one word, two syllables. Ridiculous, right?